But, guys, anybody who has written down a question, okay, that you would like to have answered by Randolph and I want you to just hit *6 on your phone, and then you can just start asking your question. If we get 2 or 3 people at one time, we'll just have to work through the muddle here. But if you have a question that you would like to ask Randolph or myself, just press *6 on your phone, and that will unmute your own personal line. Does anybody have a question you'd like to ask Randolph?
Yes.
Great,
go
ahead.
In San Antonio. Do you have a starting resources questionnaire?
A starting resources questionnaire.
Because when you were talking about finding partners and knowing what your resources are when you're starting out, is there a questionnaire? This is like a checklist. Who are my?
One of the things that we do have is we have when we end up working with somebody on a personal level, like one-on-one, like if you were working with Randolph one-on-one, we have this questionnaire, okay, that quite frankly it's 101 questions. And it basically will tell us where you are, where you want to be, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses, your assets, your liabilities, what you have to work with, what you do for a career. Is your family supportive? Do you know anything about rehabbing? Do you like to be in the office or out of the office? Do you like to be in the field? Do you like to rehab houses? Do you like dealing with tenants? What are your thoughts on property management? All those kind of things. It's 101 questions. And and I didn't mean to bring this up, but if anybody wants to learn more about that, you can go to larrysinnercircle.com. If you go to larrysinnercircle.com and fill out that little web form there, it will send you a link to that questionnaire. Okay?
Okay.
And it's basically, it is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 101 or 102 questions, and I just recently updated it. But anytime we start working with somebody, that's one of the first things that we want to do, because we want to find out everything we can about you. Because let me tell you something, when you're working with somebody one-on-one, it's not just a matter of showing you how to do a short sale or showing you how to buy a HUD house or showing you how to be a property manager. It's all about showing you, specifically you, based on where you are, where you want to be, your likes and dislikes, and how you want to spend your time. If you're one of these kind of people that like to be driving around in the truck all day, going from job to job, overseeing the job, hanging out with the contractors and stuff, and hiring contractors and meeting people there, then you don't want to be doing virtual wholesaling, okay? And we need to know that if we're going to help you. So if you want to, you can go to larrysinnercircle.com, or you can call one of our guys in the office, and they'll get it to you at 803-831-2858. If you call 803-831-2858 and just speak with one of our business advisors and tell them that you want to fill out that 101 question questionnaire, and that's for our Inner Circle thing. But great. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else have a question? If you have a question, just hit *6 to unmute yourself, and then go ahead and throw it out there.
Hey, Larry. This is Don McLean. Good afternoon.
Hey, Don. What's up?
Hey, buddy. Hey, listen, I had the pleasure of attending your HUD housing seminar at the Houston Lifestyle Expo here a couple weeks ago, and I did get your book in the mail. Yeah, I appreciated that a lot. Yeah, I'd like to know what the next step is on working with you guys, taking advantage of, the opportunity to work with you guys and buying HUD homes. Is there someone in your office I need to contact? What would be the next step?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll answer that question with kind of a similar answer. If you either go to larrysinnercircle.com or if you call that number, 803-831-2858, you can ask those guys that question, and they'll be more than happy to talk to you about doing that. And by the way, how did you like that event, the Lifestyles event?
It was great. I liked the whole event. I think the whole event was great. There's some good speakers there. You're out break session was great. There's some good stuff there. It was, how many people would you say were there? About 3,000 or so? 2,000?
There was probably somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 was the number that I got.
Oh, is that what it was? No, it was a good.
That's the number I got, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. It was a good turnout. I really enjoyed meeting you, and really enjoyed the class. You had a full house there, standing room only.
We did, didn't we? Well, HUD is a hot topic, and quite frankly, guys, probably about 65-70% of our deals right now comes from HUD, and we're expanding into other states and other markets, and we actually, we're growing as far as our HUD business, and in fact, we've got 2 virtual assistants that they do nothing but sit in front of the computer and analyze the HUD deals and put numbers on it, and then we have another VA that sits in front of the computer and puts in bids. And we expanded into Virginia and Alabama, and we already have, Randolph, how many deals do we have under contract in Virginia and Alabama?
Between those 2 states, I think probably half the board. I think 10 or so now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we are expanding into other states, and we're soon to be in Georgia. We've already got Georgia set up, and we're in the process of setting up Tennessee as well. So, and then we're moving on west to Kentucky, Arkansas, and Louisiana, Missouri, and then Texas. I think we identified 16 states that we want to buy in.
Yep. I'm looking at them now.
That's
and
cool,
Florida.
Man. That's
right.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. So our theory is, we want to, and guys, don't get me wrong, we're always tweaking our own business. We don't do the same thing. We're not doing the same thing this year we did last year, because the market changes, the economy changes, rules and regulations changes, the financial markets change, and the amount of properties that are available at specific sources changes. So you always got to be tweaking your business. So in tweaking our business, one of the things that we've elected to do is expand by states, by going into different states. And, think about it. If we're eventually in 16 states, what if we only get 2 houses a month in each state? That's 32 deals a month just from HUD, right?
Right. Exactly right.
That's not too bad, is it? Cool. So,
work with that.
Anybody else like to
Larry,
ask
this
a
is
question?
Joe. This is Joe in Bethlehem.
Hey, Joe.
First, your 101 questions. It's a great way to analyze yourself, not just so even if somebody doesn't decide to work with you, it's still a great way to evaluate yourself. It's a great list of questions.
Awesome.
I have 3 houses that I purchased through you, and I really enjoyed that. But I'm looking to get into buying and holding right now, and preferably multifamily, like apartments or mobile home parks. Do you guys do any sort of work in that area, or just the single-family homes?
That's a really good question. I have owned a little bit of multifamily, just small multifamilies, and I've actually owned 2 mobile home parks, my first and last, and it was the same park. So, So the short answer is no. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with multifamily. There's nothing wrong with mobile home parks, okay? In fact, I love mobile homes. I love the double wides, 2000, 2001, 2, 99, 98 year models. You can pick them up for $15,000, $20,000. You can turn around and sell them with seller financing for $59,900, $69,900. You can get $3,000 to $5,000 down, get a $700 or $800 a month payment. I love those. But here's the reason I like to stick with single-family homes. There's so many more buyers for them. If I decide I need to sell a house, if it's a multifamily or a mobile home park, I can only sell that property for to an investor. That's it.
Right.
If I have a single-family house, I could sell it to a landlord. I could sell it to a fix-and-flip investor. I could sell it to an investor that's going to fix it up and sell or finance it. I could sell it to somebody that's going to live in it. I could sell it to somebody that's going to buy it for somebody else to live in it, like a son or daughter or a grandson or granddaughter. And I could do many, many different things with that property. I could lease option it. I could sell or finance it. I could flat rent it out. I could do whatever. There's so many different things you can do with the single-family house versus multifamily. And that's the reason that I have stuck with single-family houses forever and ever. Amen. Don't get me wrong. I like multifamily. I like commercial. But if something changes and you need to get rid of it, there's so many more buyers out there for a single family, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. It's a good point. I was looking more at the economy of scale and long-term investments, but you do have more exit strategies with single family.
Well, let me touch on that economy of scale, okay? And this is not something. This is the kind of thing we might get in on a coaching call or something. But you know, people talk about the economy of scale. I can buy 50 doors with one purchase. That might be true, but if you look at your rate of return on those 50 doors, you know, those 50 units, and buying them like that, there's no way you can get the kind of return that I can get by buying a single-family house for $15,000 to $20,000, and then I turn around and lease it out for $600, $700 a month. Think about it. If I got $15,000, which, by the way, forget about repairs. I don't repair houses. I lease it to them as is, okay?
Right.
So am I right, Randolph?
No, that's exactly right.
So if I got $15,000, yeah, it's not going to be the best house in the world, but who cares? Randolph, tell them about that first house we did in Alabama, the very first one we got under contract that we're closing on this week.
Yeah, so I think it was listed at one point for $95. We was able to pick it up for $25.
25.5. 25.5.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Right. 25.5. So, but yeah, I mean, I think we found a cash buyer for it, and I can't remember what we're selling it for.
But that was a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath brick ranch house on 6 acres of land, or 4 acres of land.
2,500 square feet, I believe. Yeah, you're right.
Wow, that's a great deal.
So what I'm saying is, think about this. Let's talk about the economy of scale. You could buy 50 units and maybe get a 10, maybe 15. Let's say you can get a 20% cap rate, okay? That's a 20% return on your money. But let's say you buy a house for $15,000. If you rent it out and do a lease option, okay, where the tenant is going to pay all the expenses, okay, now you're paying taxes and insurance, of course. But say you got it for $15,000, you rent it out for $600. That's 4 times what you have in the. That's 4 times, or 15, 30, 40, 450, 600. You with me?
Right.
Yeah.
That's 4%, not 1% of purchase price, but 4% of purchase price. Okay.
Right.
So think about that. You got $4,800 a month coming in. All right. You got 5,000 roughly, 5, 10, 15. In 3 years, that thing is paid for, or you got all your money back.
Right.
And if you use leverage, if you go out and borrow the money, even if you pay 10% on the $15,000, you're going to have at least $400 to $500 a month cash flow, and you got nothing in it. So that's huge. That's huge. So that's why I like single-family houses, because you can get better deals. Yes, you got to buy a lot more properties, and it's going to take a little bit more work, but real estate is get rich slow, not get rich quick. So I hope that helped.
It does. Thank you.
Awesome. By the way, we're going to take some more questions, guys, but if you got to jump off, if you don't want to get on here live and have your question answered, just send your questions to questions@LarryGoins.com. Questions@LarryGoins.com. Anybody else want to jump in and ask a question here today, live?
How you doing,
I was wondering,
Larry, Randall?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good. Oh, that's you, Randolph.
Hey, Randolph. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, this is Freddie Jackson from Chicago. What you do to keep momentum going for yourself and keep yourself motivated?
Keep momentum.
How you keep momentum?
I would probably say what I got going in my ear, man. I keep everything positive around me and nothing negative. You know, I listen to positive music, and for me, to keep my momentum, I read my Bible. You know,
okay.
I read a lot of devotionals. It's all about what my thinking is, what I got going on in my head to keep me motivated. I read stuff about real estate. You know, I got to keep a lot of positive things around me and surround myself with like-minded people. Because like sometimes when things may not be going good for me, you know, I got other partners that's in the business that things may be going well for them. So, you know, kind of being around like-minded people that are positive, keeping things around me that's positive, and being very focused on my why, my children and my wife, man. That's very motivating for me.
Indeed.
I tell you what, the work. I could have had a closing fall through on my way home, but when I get in the door, my why is there waiting for me. You see, that motivates me. But you know what? There's some people out there, they don't have that a husband. I mean, they don't have a wife or spouse or children at home, so they may have a different why. So, you know, whatever that why may be, that helps keep you motivated. So I hope to answer your question.
Yes, it is. How long did it take for you to close your first deal?
Oh, my first deal. That's a good question. I don't know if I know the answer to that. I remember how I got started, though. I made friends with a real estate agent who had a HUD key. And back then, all HUD keys one HUD key would fit all the HUD doors. So I would go around and show these houses with my friend's HUD key and give a pen and a pad to my buyer and say, hey, write down everything that's wrong, and I'm going to fix it for you. You know, and, man, I did that for a while. I ain't had no air conditioning in my car, and I'm riding around with no air conditioning in the heat of the summer and drinking coffee. Now that I'm thinking about it, man, it probably took me a good 3 to 4 months to get my first deal done. I remember where I was living. We were living in a little condo at the time. I think our mortgage payment was like $400 a month, and we was on the verge of losing that. But I believed in what I was doing. But I'll probably say about 4 months before my first deal got closed.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the information.
That's awesome. Guys, if you want to get some more information about, what it's about to work with me and Randolph personally one-on-one, just go over there to that site, larrysinnercircle.com, or call 803-831-2858. And that's right here in my office, about 20 feet from where I'm sitting right now. So just call that number or go to larrysinnercircle.com. There's a little video you can watch that tells a little bit about why most investors fail and how you can be successful. And then what you can do is you can, right after that page, after you fill out the little opt-in form, it will email you that 101-page thing, and it will also take you to a video, a 30-minute video that will kind of go through and explain a lot of information. So go to larrysinnercircle.com or call that number, and we'll be glad to talk to you about working with us if you want to, or if you just have any questions, about your courses or about whatever. We're here for you guys. We want to help you. So does anybody else have any questions, any more questions you want to throw out before we call it a day today?
Larry, I have a question. This is Joyce in New York.
Hey, Joyce.
I saw your CD on HUD Homes, the changes that they made recently, and two of them were that they no longer put the days they don't put the original listing date and the as-is value. How do you make your decisions based on your offers without that knowledge?
Without what did you say the two things were now? The one is they don't tell you how many offers were made, right?
No, the original listing date when the listing came on the market, because I know that you look for listings that are 90 days or older, and also they don't put the as-is value anymore.
That's true. They don't put the as-is value, but the thing about it is you can go on Zillow.com or Trulia.com or Realtor.com, and you can find out a lot of information, and you can also see when that property was listed on Realtor.com. And Randolph, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, and a lot of times we track, back then when they used to do the appraisal date, we would track it from the appraisal date. But what we do, we work from a spreadsheet, and that's one thing you can do too. We start tracking it from the time we start. It hits the HUD site. So there's not necessarily a list date, but every day you can track those things. And so yes, they don't necessarily list the list date on the property because that keeps changing, and that's not accurate. But you can also track too how long that property's been on the site by using Realtor.com.
Just by watching it every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see. I see. And you can see the value on the comp sites then. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
You're going to look at the sold comps, not the properties that are, for sale. You're going to look at the sold comps.
The sold comps.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answered your question, because with HUD, we don't have to wait 90 days. We have just found that a lot of times that's the sweet spot, 60 to 90 days, but we have gotten many offers accepted in a shorter period of time. Right, Randolph?
Right, and it varies from area to area. That's primarily what we found in North Dakota, Carolinas. As we're moving into other states, we're starting to see those time points are a little different. A lot shorter periods now, like 30 to 45 days.
So do you make offers on properties as soon as you see them?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Very good. I did come on the call a little late. Is this recorded by any chance?
Yes, it is, and we'll be sending out a replay for it as well, so you'll have a lot of good, you'll be able to go back and listen to it again. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, so I hope that helped.
Absolutely.
Great. Anybody else have a question you want to throw out?
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing? I'm Ron from New York.
Hey, Ron.
Ron.
So listen. Sometimes I see when you make offers or when you see a deal, when you send the offer in, they want a proof of funds to even consider the offer. Now, if you don't have no money, you're going to have to go get the money or something like that or find out partners. How do you get around that? You don't want to lose the deal. You don't have no proof of funds that's going to necessarily satisfy the offer request.
Yeah, you can go to realestateDayFunding.com. realestateDayFunding.com.
That's Real Estate Day Funding?
Yep, DAY funding.com. When you come across, there are a number of companies that offer transactional funding, and a lot of them offer a proof of funds letter. In most cases, you can request a proof of funds letter, and it'll be in your inbox almost instantly.
That is true. That's very, very good advice. RealEstateDayFunding.com is one of our websites, and on that website, when you fill out the information there, we will send you a list or take you to a page with a list of all the different transactional funding lenders that will give you a proof of funds letter.
Okay.
So that should be able to help you pretty quick.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome. You're welcome. Anybody else have a question?
Larry, I have another question about HUD homes. When you speak about a spreadsheet, you can export the sheet from HUD into Excel. Do you have a sheet? Does your spreadsheet compute the offers or the percentages of what you're going to offer?
What we do is we have a spreadsheet that we use that you can merge with HUD spreadsheet when you export it. And you can. There's people out there that will tell you HUD is a computer. You can get your offers accepted. But here's the problem with that theory and just throwing a number out there. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we have been known to throw numbers out there. I want to only offer 22% or 26% or whatever. But here's the problem. Just because you know what HUD is willing to take doesn't mean that's what you're willing to pay. And that's very, very important. Am I right, Randolph?
Yeah. No, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Do you have a spreadsheet that's formulated to what you're willing to pay?
We do. We have a spreadsheet that's part of it, and it comes with my HUD book. If you go to freehudbook.com, freehudbook.com, and you can get the book for free. and then I could mail you the physical copy too. But if you go to freehudbook.com, then you'll be able to get a copy of that, and it comes with the spreadsheet.
Right.
And does it tell you how to merge it?
It does. It shows you what to do and how to do it.
Okay, thank you so much.
All you got to do is enter in the columns that you want to add to the HUD spreadsheet. So I hope that helped. Cool. Anybody else? We're going to take one more question before we go. We've been on here about an hour and 15 minutes, and I hope you guys got a lot out of it.
Sonia Gervasio from Rhode Island.
Hey.
How are you? I have a question. I do lots of short sales in Rhode Island, and they do have the first look initiative on HUD houses, and there's also a time frame that you have to hold it before you actually can sell it. And I went to your seminar at the Lifestyle here in Houston, and you mentioned there that you actually do get properties on the contract before you even purchase it, while you have them pending on HUD.
Okay.
How do you do
Randolph,
that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm having a really hard time hearing, making out. I think the phone, you're very, very loud. Maybe if you could turn your phone down some. Are you on your cell phone, maybe?
Yes, I'm trying to. Okay, let me get my Bluetooth now. Maybe you can hear me better now. Can you hear me better, or I'm still loud?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yes, my question is, I actually went to your seminar in Houston with Lifestyle, and I have my license in Rhode Island, and they do have the first look initiative when you purchase HUD homes. And there is this time frame where first-time home buyer, owner-occupant got first priority, then nonprofits, and eventually investors. Now, when investors do get on the contract, they do have to hold the house for a period of time before they can sell it back. But at the seminar, he did tell us that he have houses pending while, under HUD, while he actually lists them in other websites and actually get them on the contract before getting a title to the property. How do you do that?
Well, I mean,
very successfully.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I know of having to hold a HUD property for a period of time before you can sell it.
That's not true. We hold ours about 30 minutes, right, Randolph?
Yeah, we and that's on a that's a long time. So, but yeah, I mean, we market our properties so that when it's time for us to close, we're buying it at 10 o'clock and turn around and selling it at 10:30. And so I've heard that, but I don't believe that's true when it comes to HUD. Now there are some other REOs like Fannie Mae and a lot of some other companies. I think maybe U.S. Bank sometimes they require that when you buy a property from them, whether you're an investor or not, that you have to hold title for at least 90 days sometime before you can sell it.
Exactly. Rhode Island is like that.
Yeah, but I don't. That's not the case with HUD. Not that we found.
Okay.
So
no, you do not have to hold a HUD property. The only seasoning HUD has would be on getting an FHA loan to buy the property.
Right.
That would be the only seasoning that they would have if you're getting an FHA loan to purchase the property. And they only loan to owner-occupants, so as an investor, it's irrelevant to you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hope that helped. Anybody else have a question?
Hi, this is Maxine from Florida.
Hey,
Larry,
from Florida, go ahead.
I'm scheduled to meet with you in May for my one-on-one, but this is my first time. Yeah, this is my first time hearing about the 101 questionnaire. Do I need to do that? I haven't done that yet. Is that something?
Yeah, we're going to get that sent out to you.
Oh, okay.
We're absolutely going to get that sent out to you.
Okay, so in the meantime, is there anything other than reading and watching the videos that I really need to be doing?
Well, no, if you just go through the course that you have, and we'll be sending you out some information in the mail because you'll be coming here to the office to spend a few days with us. So we'll get all that information out to you. It's not until May, so it might be a little while before you get it, but we'll get everything sent out to you. Absolutely, and we appreciate your business. We're looking forward to working with you.
Oh, so am I. I'm looking forward to being there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, congratulations and welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. Anybody else have a question?
Hey, there is Rodney.
Hey, Rodney.
From Culpeper. I'm having trouble finding a RIA group in my area.
Okay. Here's let me ask you a question. Where do you live?
In Culpeper, Virginia.
Culpeper? What's Culpeper, Virginia close to?
Manassas or Charlottesville or Fredericksburg.
Manassas? Manassas what?
Mm-hmm. Or Manassas, Virginia? Yes.
Okay.
Or Frederick, Virginia or Charlottesville, Virginia?
Okay.
One of those three?
There's
all those three.
Yeah. I would go to meetup.com, meetup.com, and look there. I can tell you, let's see if there's any real estate groups within. Here's Real Estate Buying and Investing Social Hour, Traction RIA, Alpha Real Estate Investors Community, VA Real Estate Investing, Real Estate Lead Generation Strategy, Networking Group for Real Estate Investors, all within 25 miles of Manassas.
Oh, cool.
And that's only half the ones that I found.
Oh, great. Now, while I'm
just
waiting
go to Meetup, type in Manassas, Virginia, type in within 25 miles, and then type in real estate in your keywords.
Okay. Now, while I'm waiting to come down for the Inner Circle boot camp 3 days in May. If I go to that's great. I'm excited about that. Now, while I'm waiting, but when I go to a RIA group, should I mention anything about me being hooked up with you all?
You can if you want to. That's entirely up to you. I've spoken at a lot of those different groups, so a lot of them will know who I am. So, you're welcome to mention that if you want to, but that's entirely just a personal preference if you want to do that.
I'm just wondering what I should disclose to people when I go to the meetings and
just tell them whatever it is you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to wholesale, tell them that I'm a wholesaler, looking for people to get on my buyer's list. I'm always looking for funding and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't have all those things set up yet, so I'm wondering, if I'm jumping the gun on that or.
That's okay. It doesn't hurt to go to the group and start networking with people, right, Randolph?
Absolutely. That's typically one of the first things I have my students doing, especially if they're just getting started.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you on May.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to it, too. We appreciate your business and look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you, Randolph.
Okay, we're going to take one more question. Who before we take off, who wants to ask a question? Maybe we're not going to take one more question. So, guys, if you do want to get that 101 question questionnaire, go to larrysinnercircle.com. If you want to talk to one of our guys here in the office about maybe working with us, or if you have questions or whatever, just call 803-831-2858. And we'll be here for another 30 minutes or so. It's almost 4:30 here. So we're going to try to do these calls on a more regular basis because we've had a lot of positive feedback about it. So we really appreciate you guys being on today. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and go out there and make it happen. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Randolph, for being on today, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Hey, you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Hey.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Hey.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Hey.